A candidate for mayor of San Francisco is getting some international coverage as well as a bit of criticism for a new television ad. Former 8th District Supervisor Bevan Duffy's new ad features shots of him riding a Muni light rail train with his daughter Sydney, who thus becomes the first child of an openly gay political candidate to be featured in a political ad or campaign. The ad has received media coverage on continents across the globe, with some saying it's exploitive to use Sydney, whose mother is a friend of Duffy's. Others say it's an incremental step forward in the common acceptance of gay and lesbians. To talk about the ad and the use of his daughter in it, mayoral candidate and former supervisor Bevan Duffy joins us live on the KCBS Newsline. Bevan, thanks very much for talking to us this afternoon. A lot of politicians, including the current occupants of the White House, do all they can to keep their kids out of the public's prying eyes. Was it a difficult decision to decide to use your daughter in the ad?
No, not at all. I love being with my child, Sydney, and she's been a part of my public life throughout her life, and she loves it. I grew up in a household where I had a single mom, and my mom worked in civil rights and anti-poverty, and I went to a lot of things my mom did, and I think it had a lot to do with the path that I took in life. And I'll tell you this much, if Sydney doesn't want to go somewhere, we don't go somewhere. So we have a lot of fun together, and I think it's really deepened our relationship, and I think it's given her great experiences in this amazing city.
What do you think about the international coverage that this television ad is getting? I think it might be a reminder sometimes that we in the Bay Area and maybe in San Francisco potentially live in a bit of a bubble.
Well, just yesterday I saw that the Catholic Church in Honduras has petitioned the Honduran government to bar Ricky Martin from coming and performing in concert later this month. And that's all about the fact that he's a gay dad. And so I think it is a reminder that some of the world is catching up to San Francisco. I'd point out to you that 50% of the children adopted out of foster care in San Francisco are going into LGBT-led families. So we have determined that LGBT families are a great asset to us, and I'm proud of that, and I'm proud to be a dad. I think it deepens my experience in the city. I experience Muni and parks and public schools where my child goes so much more personally because of being a parent. I think that makes me a better candidate.
Now, here's the thing, though. Sarah Palin used her kids in her campaign, and then that made them open game for the media. And not that your daughter is anywhere near the age of scandal, but does that worry you?
No, it doesn't. My daughter was criticized by a reporter when she was born, and God rest Pete Wilson's soul, I didn't know him. He was extremely critical of my decision to parent, and Pete was almost fired during the controversy, and I stepped forward and said, you know what, I don't agree with his opinion about my family or my child, but he's a journalist, I'm a public figure, and it's great. And the good thing is, as much as she's great with her letters and is good at writing, she's not reading the Chronicle every day, and she's certainly not reading the Daily Mail in London, which is a tabloid. So I'm not worried about that. As she gets older, she's a San Francisco child. You know what? My child is not worried when she sees a naked person in the Castro. My child is not worried when she sees the situations in urban living. I grew up in New York City, and I think it's a good thing. I'm not at all worried about it. I'm proud of my child.
Unfortunately, it sounds like your line is not working for us, but that is mayoral candidate and former San Francisco supervisor Bevan Duffy talking about a choice to use his daughter Sydney in a campaign ad in which they're riding Muni.